Hello, fighting nerds.
Try to get a matchup with Ngannou. Smiling. It can come back.
We moved this to 6th. I will just swap it on number 5th. For me, according to number 5th is Zhang Weili versus Joanna part 2, where Zhang Weili knocks a spinning elbow, hits a spinning elbow, and Joanna just went down flat on her head. एंड आई थिंक फर्स्ट मैच उनका इतना कॉम्पिटिटिव था कि पूरा जोआना का फेस चेंज हो गया था आफ्टर द फाइट. इट हैड ऑल द स्वेलिंग, बट सेकंड में व्हाट अ कमबैक फ्रॉम वेली. या सो दैट वाज फॉर मी नंबर 5th.
Joanna's constantly pressures.
Oh my
Zhang
goodness.
spins, wait for it. Back fist to the neck, your ear.
No follow-up by Weili.
What about you?
So for me, on number 5th, I would put Conor versus Aldo, the 13-second knockout. All the build-up for about 1.5 years, the cancelled bout where Conor had to win the interim title against Chad Mendes. Going against adversity, he won the interim title and they booked this match. On that stage, doing a 13-second knockout on, in my opinion, the greatest featherweight ever to grace the octagon. So that is one of the best knockouts.
Black trunks for the champion, Jose Aldo Jr.
Conor relaxed and smiling.
He slapped him! Conor McGregor is the new UFC featherweight champion of the world!
Incredible. One more look at it. Boom. Left hand, out cold, hammer fist. Incredible that he connected with a punch as his brain was shutting off.
I couldn't agree more with you. I think Aldo was champion for almost a decade, 10 साल से undefeated. Conor comes in, इतना back and forth हुआ, इतना उसने उसको press conference से लेके उसमें humiliate किया Conor ने. And I was thinking like, this would be a tough match for Conor. And it was prime Conor. He came in 13 seconds, left punch. I think कोई लोग ये भी बोलते touch of death for his left punch for Conor McGregor का जो punch है. And I think, to me, amazing thing was he practiced the exact same move in the locker room. जब वो वीडियो देखी, तो that was like, okay, this is what visualization does to you in a sport. So I think, hands down, yeah, I agree with you that.
What about you on number 4th?
For me, on number 4th, I would put Francis Ngannou versus Alistair Overeem. Uppercut. Both beast. Ngannou का uppercut, Alistair Overeem literally flied. और नॉकआउट. आई नेवर इमेजिन कि लेस्टर ओवरीम को कोई ऐसा डोमिनेट कर पाएगा इन हेवीवेट डिवीजन, बट आई थिंक दैट इज वन ऑफ द हाइलाइट्स फॉर हेवीवेट डिविजन्स.
Not a lot of people burning up Mick Maynard's phone to try to get a matchup with Ngannou. Down goes the Reem! Francis Ngannou!
Boom. And then boom.
Okay, so for me, on number 4th, it would be Michael Venom Page versus Evangelista Santos. This match was from Bellator. What happened was MVP threw a flying knee. Evangelista was going down for a takedown and it landed straight on the forehead. And Evangelista covered his face and went down. After that, once he was transported to the hospital, they find out that his entire skull is fractured and his bones are split into multiple pieces. So after that, I don't think Evangelista fought ever since. I think he retired, and it was like one of the most brutal knockouts I have seen on live TV.
Just about everything you need in a fight, you lose off the liver shot. It can come back.
Beautiful. Runs into the jump knee and it's over.
I think it was totally devastating. बहुत ही brutal था. उसके बाद MVP का show off करना, again that sparked a lot. And if I remember correctly, Evangelista जो है Chris Cyborg के husband भी हैं.
Yes,
correct, ex-husband. I don't want any of the fighter to suffer through the same what Evangelista has done, because this could be a career-ending injury. What has happened?
Yes.
But yeah, it was one of the most devastating knockout, I would say.
So what about your pick on number 3rd?
On me, on number 3rd, I would put I think I would put same MVP versus Evangelista. Actually, I had forgotten that, but I think you are right that Pokemon stuff that he did, I think that needs to be there on number third.
So for me on number third, it will be Michael Bisping versus Dan Henderson. So this is one of the most brutal knockouts that I have seen. I have not seen this fight live, but yeah, I watched it. So earlier we used to have this show on, I think it was Sony 6. So they used to telecast this show in the early 2010. They used to have this show UFC Unleashed. So
Yes.
on that I saw this knockout. As we all know, Dan Henderson, he's known for his H bombs, the Hendo bomb, the overhand right that he throws.
Yeah.
So he threw an overhand right on Michael Bisping. Bisping went down, and not sure what went through Hendo's mind. He just jumped and landed with another punch on Michael Bisping. And Michael Bisping, his whole body was stiff. He was shivering, and sheer disrespect of Hendo making that jump, his logo, was absolute savagery. Proper shithousery, what we call.
That's all! He's down! And it is all over! Dan Henderson! You see, as he circles, you catch him on the button. Did you know he was out before you landed this one?
I agree, and I think he humbled Michael Bisping, as well as he put Michael Bisping into a whole another universe after that punch, and making that logo still like burns Michael Bisping. I was seeing his one of the most recent interviews also. So I think
So on number 2, what's your pick?
So for me on number 2, it's Max Holloway versus Justin Gaethje, UFC 300 mega event, 5-round co-main event. Last round, last few seconds, Max Holloway moving one weight class up, knocks out highlight reel Justin Gaethje. I think no one can beat that.
Yeah, I would also put that on number 2. Like this was the biggest event, UFC 300. Center of the octagon, dominated Justin Gaethje for 24 minutes. 24 minutes and 50 seconds. Brings the fight to the center of the octagon, points to the center, lets straight shots, knocks him out with 1 second left, and leaves like a king. That was amazing. A fairy tale from start to finish with the BMF title.
Title,
yeah, that was amazing. That was like on whole another level. Just seeing the stakes and the way that Justin got knocked out after being dominated for 25 minutes on the feet. What is his specialty? So that knockout I will always put on one of the best knockouts.
Finally, in minute 25, Holloway shows some mortality.
Look at this. Holloway just told him, stand right here.
Oh, big connection late. That'll do it.
Misses it, points at the ground, and they just decide to wing it. And then Max catches him right here. There it is.
Oh!
Just slept him.
My goodness. Clean as can be. And the accumulation of damage was too much for Gaethje to take. Holy smoke.
And this was a fight where everybody thought that Max was going to be outgunned.
उसको उसी की गेम में beat किया Max Holloway.
Yeah.
Cool. So ready for number 1?
For me, number 1 would be, just for the sheer brutality of that knockout, Francis Ngannou versus Alistair Overeem. The uppercut, that is a whole, like, that went viral for months. That knockout was viral for months because that uppercut, it like brutally, it switched the lights off for Overeem, and Overeem's complete body was stiff. His toes, if you look at his toes when you see the video for the knockout, they are like shaking. Overeem is completely stiff as a board, and then Ngannou lands 2 punches more when he's on the ground. And that knockout, if I ever see a person who has never watched MMA, if I could recommend one fight, one knockout for them to watch, that would be Alistair Overeem versus Ngannou, with Overeem getting brutally knocked out.
Not a lot of people burning up Mick Maynard's phone to try to get a matchup with Ngannou. Down goes the Reem! Francis Ngannou!
Whoa! That's what we were talking about, ladies and gentlemen.
I think for me, on number one, drum roll please, it is Jorge Masvidal versus Ben Askren. 5 second fastest knockout in UFC history. और सबसे बढ़िया बात मेरे को पता है क्या लगी? Throughout that fight build-up, Ben Askren was, trying to get on to the nerves of Masvidal. Then Masvidal, like a true gangster, true badass, उसने उसको पूरा बेट किया. Like, look at the mind games throughout the face off, weigh-ins, होटल में confrontation, till जब तक इंट्रोडक्शन होता है, he kept his hand behind his back कि मैं तो अपने हाथ यूज ही नहीं कर रहा हूँ. और जैसे ही मैच स्टार्ट हुआ, रनिंग, वन नी, लाइट्स आउट, एंड उसके बाद 2 पंच और पोस्ट फाइट इंटरव्यू बोलना, दोज वर सुपर नेसेसरी, उसकी मिमिक्री करना. एंड आई थिंक that was
The fight clock is brought to you by Modelo.
One of the things that I loved about Masvidal, वो जो Masvidal था प्राइम का था, डैरेंटल को नॉकआउट किया. उसके बाद ये बेन एस्क्रेन के साथ हुआ, जो कि वन चैंपियनशिप से आ रहा था, टू सपोज टू बी अ बिग हॉट शॉट फाइटर इन welterweight, and he ended his hype train. Plus I think he practiced this exact move. जब उसकी post fight practice videos आई, he practiced the exact same move with so that was like totally shocking कि वो practice करना एक चीज होती है और जाके execute करना is the second thing. So that was amazing, and I think for me that is the one fight, if I have to ask anyone to be fan of an MMA or UFC, I would share this fight with them.
Yeah, I did have it in my shortlist, but decided not to go with it because Askren was undefeated, but he was like never proven in the bigger organizations. He was in one, but for me it didn't seem like because if Askren would have like made some huge impact, because the early fight with Robbie Lawler was also like
that was a controversy.
A controversial stoppage, so that is why I decided not to go with that. I had a few honorable mentions that didn't make the list, so maybe in another video we can cover those as
we
well.
will definitely talk about. So फाइटिंग नर्ड्स, आप बताओ कि आपके लिए बेस्ट नॉकआउट या मोस्ट मेमोरेबल नॉकआउट कौन सा है, कमेंट करके बताओ.